All right, welcome back to the SilmFilm script discussion, season 3, episode 8, part 7. It's 7. 6 was the last one. This is 7. See what happens when Marie doesn't help me out. That's awesome. So Dave had a couple. Dave had a couple comments I wanted to read here. We should lose something of value in the sinking, some great work of craft that cannot be replaced. Haven't they all? Which Marie kind of suggested that maybe that could, like, they could have a palantir.
Yeah, they're not allowed to have any once they reach Middle Earth for the obvious reason that that would impact the storyline if the elves could communicate via long distance palantir.
Okay.
Wait, that was a weird clap I just did. I just thought of something. What if Amrod had a palantir, kept a palantir?
We discussed the thread, and I thought we agreed that it wouldn't work.
If they all have them, but what if Amrod?
Fingolfin can't have. Because the question was, can the camp of Fingolfin find out about the ship burning via palantir? Could they see it in the palantir? And the answer was no, because then they would have a palantir later, and that's a problem. But if there's one now that drowns on the ship and doesn't get saved, then it's okay. That doesn't impact the Balerion storyline in any way.
Right. I like the idea earlier suggested that the Feanorians did bring the Palantiri from Tyrion or Farmenos, and that they were destroyed with the ships that Urinen sank. Because otherwise they left behind, and why wouldn't
Feanor have had any with him personally?
Well, the other issue that was we couldn't let Morgoth get a hold of them. And if they were in Formenos and Morgoth was there and he raided the place, why didn't he take the Palantiri with the Silmarils?
And the answer to that was that he did, and that Ungoliante ate them.
Well, actually, it was that they got destroyed. In when Formenos was sacked, they were actually destroyed rather than stolen. So like stomped on it. Yeah.
So Morgoth has the ability to destroy the things.
Palantir?
Well, they're just stones. You just smash it.
I mean,
I'd buy that Morgoth can destroy the Palantiri. Yeah. He's like the most, at that point, he's the most powerful being in Arda.
Yep.
Well, why would we want to spite?
Or Ungoliante eats them, or they get drowned in the ships that Unin stole.
There were other multiple ways of destroying them, but yeah, this is our last chance. If we want to have one in the storyline before they get lost forever, this would be the last chance, because they have to go down with the ships. And we've already lost the ships with Unin, and then now.
If there was only one Palantir left, Feanor would have it.
That's true. What I'm suggesting is that Amrod got it in Aqualande.
How?
Oh, he looted it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
maybe it was on one of. Because it was on his ship.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
You steal the ship, you get what's on it, and if there's a Palantir on it, you get that. Yeah. So we had made a part of the storyline that when Feanor invented the Palantiri, he immediately showed his father, because he wanted Finwë to be able to look back to Middle Earth and see Elwë, because they had been friends and all that. Finwë used the Palantir and saw lots of Balerion, but never did see Elwë because of Melion's protected bubble. So. Yeah. Oops.
But
so
the girdle doesn't get created.
This is like
not the girdle.
It's a proto girdle.
Okay.
It's part of the reason why Elwë's dudes can't find him.
Yeah, it's why Nan Elmoth is invisible.
Oh, right, because it was Melion and Thingol in that trance thing forever.
Because it was early enough that they were still like enchanted or whatever, I guess. Yeah. Maybe not really, but Nan Elmoth is still hard to see via Palantir. Yeah. Whatever. The point is, Finwë does not ever get confirmation that Elwë's alive, because he can't. So it just doesn't work out. So he's like, wow, this is a really cool invention, but didn't do what I wanted. So Feanor's like, well, I can make a bunch more, but then he gets bored with it and moves on to something else.
Yeah.
And when he gives them to Finwë to give to the Teleri so they can look back and see if they can communicate with their relatives who were left behind.
Yep.
So it's a gift to the Teleri from Finwë.
Yep.
Not directly from Feanor, because Feanor doesn't care.
So Amrod looted a palantir,
From Aqualande.
which is lost with the ship.
Yes.
Which we now have to retroactively establish in episode 7, probably. The scene where they're talking about their mom. Oh my goodness.
They're now. Yeah.
Yeah. With the scene that we put in episode 7 where they're talking about their mom, Amrod can bring out Amrod can say something to the effect of, well, we're never gonna see her again. So just like you need to kind of move on. And Amrod pulls out a palantir.
He's like, guess what? We can see mom.
Yeah.
Right.
And if it gets lost in the ship, oh my gosh,
Oh yes, it gets lost.
So this.
He's like, I want to go back.
Dave, you're brilliant. I'm just letting you know that right now.
Oh.
So I know this isn't exactly what you were thinking of, but this is good. This is good. So it's at first it's kind of a funny scene, right? And they're kind of like jabbing at each other.
And then Amrod's like, "Oh, the palantir! We didn't get it off the ship. Now we can't."
Yeah.
Now we'll never see mom again, unless, of course, you turn the ships around and sail back and go visit her. You know, if you were to do such a thing.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And Dave says that it starts to prefigure the loss of the Silmaril to the sea. It does. That's true.
And there's another later story of Palantir being lost when a ship sinks as well, with the Ice Bay of Forachel and King of Arthedain or whatever.
Yep.
So,
which we may not get a chance to tell that story. So.
Yeah, so at least it alludes to it very vaguely.
Yeah.
I would like to tell the story of the fall of Arnor.
I would, but I can't guarantee that that's a thing that's going to happen.
It's going to be a long time from now.
Yeah.
Arvidju's story of all the stories of Arnor is probably one we'll tell just because it connects the two kingdoms, and there's just a lot to Arvidju that we'll probably find a way to bring him in at some point.
Okay.
I mean, and then we get to have Glorfindel actually speak the prophecy about
exactly. There's so much that happens in Arvidju's storyline that ties into everything else.
And all the stuff about anyway. So yes,
but
Amrod loses.
That's many seasons from now.
Amrod loses his palantir, and then he's like, we can never see mother again.
Yeah.
But
so that changes his mind, because it's kind of he needed some kind of deciding reason why now is the right time to turn back in all of this, and not at the Doom of Mandos, and not at the ship burn. So
talking to Amros about it, and Amros is like, you can't break the oath. What are you talking about? We'll go to the everlasting darkness if you break it. You can't do this.
And he says, I know. Duh. Like, he brushes him off as like, why would you even think to tell me that? And so Amros thinks the discussion's closed.
Okay.
Okay, so did you Nick, did you write down or Marie, did you write down what exactly they do to break the ship? Because I didn't even understand that.
Okay.
It was the wings.
Yeah, I mean, at least as long as it's written down, because I couldn't even take notes on it. I didn't comprehend all this shit.
Oh, I don't take notes, so.
I've got it. And since this idea about the ships has been kind of like my headcanon this whole time anyway, it's easy for me. It's easy enough for me to remember something.
I've seen the picture of your imagined ships, so I have an idea of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you want side sails that kind of stick out like wings.
That's cool. Yeah. So we have 2 more Feanorian scenes this act. We have Feanor and Corufin talking about morally questionable things, and then the Feanorians land and disembark. Do we want to break that up with Beleg's travels and Bulldog moving south, or do we want to have all the Feanorian stuff in a row and then end the act with scenes of
want to break it up simply so it doesn't seem like they sailed across an ocean in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Beleg travels across Balerion and it takes a while. Bulldog moves south and it takes who knows how long.
Well, the only thing about Bulldog is, and this is the reason why Beleg needs 2 scenes. If you only do 1 scene, it looks like you just dropped it in as an afterthought, unless you do it like at the end. Now you can have 2 scenes with Bulldog, but I don't know if there's 2 Bulldog scenes in the can there to pull out.
I was gonna say have Bulldog. Okay, so I was gonna say we have scene 4 is the Feanorians break the ship and crap happens, and scene 5 is the twins talk about going back to Valinor. 6 is Beleg crossing Balerion, scene 1, and then 7 is Feanor and Curufin talk. 8 is either Beleg again or Bulldog, and then 9 is the Feanorians land and either another Beleg scene or immediately go to Círdan and Celeborn.
I have a horrific thought.
What?
Uh-oh.
I think we have too many scenes in this episode. Now,
we can cut out the Feanor.
The way that I write, if I were writing this episode, that would guarantee that this episode would be long enough, because I have a tendency to write very brief scenes, which is something I'm working on. However, it doesn't make good for good television to have a bunch of 2-minute scenes.
So can we cut out the Bulldog scene? Does it really matter?
Which scene?
Can we cut out the scene with Bulldog? Does it really matter to show that he's going south?
It's mostly just a scene of Orcish destruction, and we could show it in the next episode before the battle.
Yeah.
It's just we showed the end of last episode checking in with him and telling him to do this, and next episode is a big battle featuring him. So,
but we can open up and we can do a scene very early in the first act of the next episode where we show that they're getting ready, that they're gearing up.
Yeah,
and
it's okay to abandon a storyline for an episode and then come back to it. That's not.
You guys are planning to abandon the Helcaraxa storyline for one entire episode.
I'm not.
What are we doing?
I'm not doing that.
That's what Marie wrote, is that we have in the middle of the Helcaraxa storyline, we have an episode without them at all.
Yeah, the one that has Valinor in it.
Yeah.
The Making of the Sun and Moon takes the place of the Helcaraxi scene for one episode. Anyway,
so do we also need to drop the Feanor and Curufin conversation?
No, we need that.
Okay. So
Dave's saying we could also have someone report to Thingol that the orcs are moving south, or otherwise work that into Beleg's travels. Beleg's on the other side. If anything, Beleg would be encountering the cats thing, the Tevildo's scouts.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We can have him meet that and leave Bulldog out. It was just, I wanted to make sure we knew what Bulldog's movements were during this time, so I put it in there. If we don't want to show it, we don't have to show it.
So scenes Beleg crossing Balerion, 7 is Feanor and Curufin, 8 is Beleg encountering cats, and or Beleg reaching Doriath.
It's more important that he encountered the cats.
Actually, okay, so the whole idea of what Tevildo is doing is he's trying to zero in on where Menegroth is by capturing elves and torturing them.
How do you capture elves without hands? I guess they have mouths.
Yeah, and relative amounts of anthropomorphization. I mean,
Tevildo shouldn't be anthro. He should just be a cat.
Well, if a giant cat wants to catch you, they can pounce on you and catch you. This is a thing that can happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mouth.
Yeah. Whatever it is, they are able to manage it. And so what I'm thinking, okay, so Beleg has to have had at least a couple of guys left over from the little
rescue party
force recon force that he had with him at
Eglarest.
Thank you. Hang on a second. I don't think we want to lose Bulldog for an episode. We need to pay off his march next episode, so I don't think we can afford to lose him entirely. I don't disagree with you entirely. I'm just worried.
We can put him in Act 1 then. Just stick him in Act 1.
Well, then we need to pay him off.
Let's see. Whose storyline can he be part of?
We can actually pay him off we can actually just paint him off with just a shot of them marching. I'm okay with that. A shot of them marching takes 2 seconds, and it can be thrown into like the wrap up at the end. I'm okay with that.
Oh, I know how to do it. Well, okay, we might not do that. We were doing it as extended ending for this one, so we probably are going to have the Círdan Celeborn comment about only orcs would do something like this. It would be very easy to, or only the enemy would do something like this. It would be very easy to cut to a scene of Baldog's orcs setting things on fire and leaving them burn randomly and wantonly everywhere.
I thought we were gonna,
because that's what they're doing.
I thought we were gonna
setting trees on fire.
That's a cool idea, but I thought we were gonna save time by moving the actual conversation to next episode and just having.
Yes, but then we made this a long act, so I don't know if we still saved that conversation.
Okay.
Or
well, here's the thing. We still have too much here's the problem. Here's what I'm concerned about. We have 2 choices here. Either we try to find a way to squeeze this all in, or we suddenly at 11 o'clock at night decide that we're doing another 2-parter, which actually I'm pretty sure was Hakon's idea.
No, we're not.
Back.
We are not for this one.
Okay.
Hakon suggested that for the next one before the battles got separate episodes. The battles have separate episodes. There's no 2-parter. We don't need to. We can make this work.
Okay.
All we need is a teaser of Baldog to get ready for the next episode. So you put it on at the very end. It's okay to have a single scene because you're just teasing the next episode. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
I want
We'll figure it out.
So you want that to be after Círdan and Celeborn arrive?
Or something. I mean, we'll figure it out how to tie it in.
It can be a single line. It can be like a single pair of lines, right? So like Círdan's on the shore, on his knees, looking around at the destruction. Celeborn comes up behind him and just says, and it just says how or why, and Círdan just says only the enemy would wreak destruction like this.
And the next episode, we can have a detailed conversation about where the ships came from and who they are and what this means.
Yes,
blah, blah, blah.
exactly. Yes, it's 2 lines, no time at all, easy, done.
Right. And then then we show Baldog's orcs destroying things and setting on fire, and we get it all squeezed in. It's fine. We can do it.
Okay. All right. You've restored my hope, Marie. Okay.
I just saved you a 6-hour conversation about how to make this a 2-part episode. So I think we did good there.
Yeah.
Now, back to what we've already got done. We need to have Theodore and Curvin talk.
Okay. All right.
Now,
So,
what do they need to plan? We can't give everything away.
Wait, are we having Beleg? Are we interspersing the Beleg scene? I think we only have time for one Beleg scene. Are we interspersing that between the twins' conversation and Feanor and Curvin?
I think that's probably not the world's worst idea.
I think I want to have it. I mean, okay. Immediately after that, are we then going to have Feanor land? Like Feanor and Curvin, and then immediately they land?
They could at least be sailing up the Firth of Dringest when Feanor and Curvin have their conversation, because they can be like, okay, we're inside of land now. Let's start making some plans.
Right. They can sight land. We can open up that scene with them sighting land, and then they're having that conversation as they're.
So we can show them sailing past the island that we're later going to show Círdan arriving on, so that geographically we know where Círdan is when he sees the ships.
Right.
Some establishing shots, them sailing around Dringest, and Feanor and Curvin talking to each other while this is all happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So before we get there, with Beleg, I started out thinking maybe Beleg and the few guys that he's got with him could actually get captured by Tevilda.
Ooh.
Which I really like, but I feel like it's very early in the episode to do that.
How about they find? I mean,
or they could get chased in this in this scene.
Yeah, I don't think we want to capture, because then you have to deal with the aftermath of that. I think we just want a chase scene of giant scary cats, elves running away, maybe some shooting back and forth. Very inconclusive end to it, but now there's a new enemy to worry about, and that's what we've introduced as a new foe.
To establish that they're capturing elves, could we show them, like, first they find the remains of somebody who's been, like, tortured and eaten, and then the cats are not very far away and start chasing them, and they're like,
yeah, there can be sign of the cats having done what they're doing without us seeing the cats torture anybody.
Yeah, we can, like, find a body is what I mean. It's like they find a corpse. Like,
yeah, something scary.
Like
so, but like find something scary, then they see scary cats, then they get chased by scary cats. So, it's a building up of a adventure sequence of some sort.
Which we can do more of in the next episode.
Right, because he can't get back to Doriath in this episode, because then he would be there for the leaving for the battle in the next episode. He has to still be in the wild.
Yeah. All right. However, I think if we both post our notes from this episode, I think we will have a very clear picture of what's happening. Come across remains of a tortured and half devoured. Cats don't eat their entire victim.
Not typically, no.
I think they're gonna like find it like cached in a tree. Like leopards.
Oh.
Do we really want Bellic to be the guy who always gets captured? That's
no. I mean, no. Have them find the.
Nick was reading Dave's comment about that, because I think that's a reason to avoid any of the elves in Bellic's party being captured. I think they should be chased, and it is inconclusive. I don't think they need to be caught. I don't think Bellic needs to be a prisoner. Otherwise this just makes establishes the pattern that whenever Bellic meets bad guys, he is completely overwhelmed and captured by them every single time. And like, how is Bellic even still alive at the end of Turin's story? Oh wait, he's not.
We should show that Bellic is a badass. He should turn around and be running backwards and like shoot a cat in the eye while running backwards.
That's very.
Have we given him his fancy bow yet? He has his fancy bow now, right?
Yes, he does have the strong bow.
Belthrande.
We could put a line in when they find the half-eaten guy. They could find something about him that indicates, and one of them can say, I think that he was alive when they were doing this.
How would they be able to tell?
If you were bleeding through the wounds, then it indicates that he was alive. So if there are bite marks on a body and there's no blood in those bite marks, then it's post-mortem. If the bite marks are bloody, it's pre-mortem.
Okay.
I maybe watched some cop and/or doctor shows at some point. I don't go around biting dead bodies.
That's good to know. All right. We're going to take a very quick break.
I sometimes have suspicious knowledge.
On that note, and suspicious notice about snails and spikes and stuff. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, you're a weird person, Ray. Anyway,
biology. That's all that's about.
Anyway, so if you're watching us live, hang in there. We'll be right back. Literally. If you're watching us on YouTube in the future, definitely like and share the videos if you like and want to share them. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. Check out the links below so you can get information on the SilmFilm project, Sigma University, Mythgard Academy/Institute. You'll notice I do this faster as the evening goes on because I'm starting to get quicker and my brain is starting to work slower, which is very strange. Anyway, also Mythmoot 5 coming up June 21st to the 24th. We'll see you there. Anyway, maybe or not. I don't know. But anyway, we'll be back in a second.